Welcome back to Across Louisiana. Always great to get a visit here from the Salvation Army of Greater Baton Rouge. They do fantastic work here in the community all year round and have some exciting things coming up. And here to tell us all about it is Captain Brett Meredith. Welcome back to the show.
It's good to be with you, Nick.
Likewise.
It's good to see you.
So obviously, this organization does so much for so many here in the capital area, but for folks who may not realize the wide scope of what the Salvation Army does, tell them a little bit about that.
Well, you know, it is summertime, and so summertime brings some unique services that we provide. We have a day camp that runs in Baton Rouge, and we also have we're collecting school supplies for over 600 children who will receive school supplies up in the New Roads area, in the Baton Rouge area, out in Denham Springs, and down in Gonzales. And you know, we know it's difficult, particularly when families are facing the challenges of financial burdens that are extra. I mean, they struggle every day, and then when you add, you know, $100 worth of, or $150 worth of school supplies and a backpack, you really strain their budgets. And so the Salvation Army wants to help families, particularly find ways to ease that strain. We know we can't fix those situations completely, but we want to be there to help them. So we have that happening with kids. We have our after-school program that's going to begin shortly in Baton Rouge. Our School for Performing Arts is going to be kicking off again here in about a month. So you know, there's a lot of great things for young people. We serve about 300 children every week at the Salvation Army. Wow. And today we met with the Scouts. We have our Boy Scouts troop for the Boy Scouts as well as the Cub Scouts that'll be kicking off again this year. We're renewing those partnerships with the scouting locally here in Baton Rouge. And then, you know, we have everything from the drug and alcohol recovery that we do with 50 beds that is it's an in-house program, as well as transitional housing, a brand new shelter that's going to open in this fall. Wow. A new 50-bed emergency shelter that'll have emergency components as well as transitional housing components, as well as a veterans component. We know that, you know, a lot of veterans come back and are in difficult circumstances in our communities today. And so the Salvation Army here in Baton Rouge and across the nation is trying to step up to help those situations as much as we can.
You know, I'm glad that you mentioned something earlier with the emphasis being on summer right now. You know, the Salvation Army is so iconic around the holidays being around, but the need exists year round, right? And the giving needs to as well.
That's right. You know, need knows no season. And so we're serving as many, if not more, folks during the summertime as we do at other times of the year. It's just we are more visible at Christmas time. You know, the holidays are an important time for the Salvation because we do a lot of our fundraising then. Right. But the need is still there, and we do need folks to support the Salvation Army as well as a lot of other great organizations in our community today.
Well, I know lots of folks are going to be interested in that back-to-school bash. One more time, give everybody the information on that and where they can find out more.
You can go to our website, www.salvationarmybr.org, or you can call 355-4483 to get more information, to get signed up if you need to be signed up, or if you know someone. Right. We'd love to get their information and to be able to help out as much as we can.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for telling us all about it. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We recently had an opportunity to sit down with Captain Brett and find out about all the great things that the Salvation Army does here in the capital area. Take a look, everybody.
We began serving here in Baton Rouge, Greater Baton Rouge area, in 1905. And so we've had continuous service of almost 100 years because we left for a couple of years and then came back. The mission that we try to fulfill every day is to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and to meet human needs in His name without discrimination. And it doesn't matter how you come to us, who you are, what you've been through, what your beliefs are. We're here to help people. Raymond is a young man who came to the Salvation Army about 12 years old, and he came for a little while and then he kind of backed off because, you know, he had some kids in the neighborhood that were kind of wooing him toward a lot of the bad stuff, getting involved in gangs and things like that. And fortunately, through an acquaintance that he got reconnected to the Salvation Army, and his connection now is very strong.
The Salvation Army is like my second family. They are like my best friends, my brothers and sisters. They're always there when I need them, and all on the right time. The Salvation Army saved me from my bad guys in my neighborhood. The Salvation Army showed me love and comfort that I have not received before. If it had not been for the Salvation Army, I'd rather been shot up, probably in jail, or in somebody's graveyard. But thanks to the Salvation Army, they really turned my life around. They brought me a long way. Now I'm at home in a peaceful household. My grandmother helping her out. Everything's feel nice now.
The Salvation Army really can benefit a person if they are ready and willing for the change that can take place in their lives. And I think we provide opportunities, and sometimes we provide resources through the community providing the Salvation Army resources. But ultimately, it's up to that person to step out in faith and do what's necessary to make that change in their lives.
You know, Walter's another interesting case. He's doing fabulous today, but he has been in prison. He was a tough person. He fought at the drop of a hat, and when you hear from him, you're going to say, is that the same guy that Captain Meredith talked about? Because he's gentle, he's loving. God has come into his life in a big way, and it's made such a tremendous difference.
If it had not been for the Salvation Army, I would probably be dead or either incarcerated, because my life had become very unmanageable. And with the help of the Salvation Army and the good people that carried the Salvation Army, I'm given a second chance at life. I was out of places to go. I had nowhere left to go, and I'd even went to the parole officer and tried to turn myself in, and God had a better plan for me. He said, look, go across the street to the Salvation Army and see if they'll give you a room over there and maybe you can stay.
There are a lot of needs in our community, and the Salvation Army wants to provide hope that those needs can be met in one way or another.
Looking back at myself now, I would never believe that I could be this person I am today. That God can truly take care of something that had managed to cross so low and be so cruel and mean to everybody and care about nothing but yourself. And now all I can do is take care of others. That's all I want to do, because God gave me a chance, so I have to give back what was so freely given to me.
Our goal in the Salvation Army here in Baton Rouge is to really meet the individual and try to make an impact in an entire family.
I'd just like to thank the Salvation Army for bringing me a mighty long way.
It's a great organization that's impacting many lives here in the capital area. Well, when we come back on Across Louisiana, get the scoop on some great upcoming productions from Sela Productions. Don't miss it.